Hi all. Today's video is with respect to Eclipse Kuksa. So, if at all you would have seen my earlier video on Eclipse Velocitas, Eclipse Kuksa it plays a critical role in this particular Velocitas toolchain. So, what Kuksa actually does is Kuksa is a data broker. So, the job of Kuksa is that there will be a data provider and there will be a data subscriber. The data provider, basically the idea is to get the information over the CAN or any other network and convert it into the Covesa VSS standard, the vehicle signal specification. You can see my earlier video with respect to Covesa. I have added it in the description just to have a look. And once this data, which is converted from the CAN or whatever to the VSS standard, it is basically sent to the Kuksa broker, and the Kuksa broker, which is basically written in Rust, has now the data which will be subscribed by the other vehicle services. It could be anything. In this particular Velocitas example case, they were talking about the seat service over there, so that the values will be subscribed by the seat service in the Velocitas toolchain. So with this, we'll go into the internals of Kuksa. So the Kuksa is basically written in Rust. Its size is also very small. The reason why they have maintained a small size is to deploy this particular broker in any of the resource constrained embedded modules. And it is written in gRPC. The reason why gRPC plays a critical role over here is gRPC communicates using the protofiles. So they have provided the protofiles. So it you don't need a specific library for using Databroker. You can basically use the protofile, and you can cross compile the necessary header files out of these what to say out of these protofiles into any other language. As of as far as I remember, gRPC supports 12 different languages starting from C++, Python, Go, Rust, and yeah, Java, many things. So yeah, this is what I was explaining. So here we can see that there is no this is the non VSS data which is converted in the provider part. The provider publishes the data to the Kuksa data broker, and the Kuksa data broker basically sends it off to any other application which basically subscribe to this particular application. And so this is the Covesa standard. The reason why I'm showing you again is I'll just give you a small demo. So here there is the vehicle, which is the superset. In vehicle we have the different subsections like drivetrain, chassis, many things. And say we talk about chassis, then we talk about row one, row two. Similarly, drivetrain. There are many subsets inside each of this superset. If at all you want to get your hands dirty in Eclipse Cooks and you want to try out some stuff, so what you can do over here is you can basically go to the quick start demo of the Eclipse Cooker. So this particular link I have given it in the slides, which is over here. This slide also I will just make it available open source. So you can directly go to this slide and you can get those links. So here, how these guys, there are two ways of running the Kuksa data broker. One is by cloning the entire repository, compiling it and running it, or the second way is by using a Docker, because they have released their image in the form of a Docker. That is the most easiest way of trying out stuff over here. So here what we are basically doing is we are basically running the Docker image of this particular Kuksa. Better not to follow this quick start tutorial because this is old. It is not yet updated. I will show you another demo, live demo. You can basically use that. That is much better. But the quick start gives you a small crux. So this is the data broker. This is how you run the data broker as a Docker, and here they have provided a provider and a subscriber using Python. So here, uh, I'll just show you a small demonstration. And this is the latest release of Kuksa, which is the 0.4.4 release. So here what they do is, I was talking about the protofiles, right? So in this particular repo, you go to the protofiles, and in protofile you do have the protofiles over here. So you can go into this repo, you can cross compile for whatever language you want, and you take those headers and you integrate your code by using that particular thing. And with respect to the VSS signal specifications, so in this particular folder, you will be able to see the VSS releases which is actually using the VSS is vehicle signal specification, which I was actually saying about. So this is my IDE. So here, if at all you see, this is the VSS 4.2 release. So these are all the various what to say, the signals which are already available by from them itself. Now you may have a doubt, like I want to use a data broker, but I want to add a new signal which is not there in this particular VSS. So how do I do it? So that is what I have done just now. So this is the VSS release which they have provided, and this is my custom VSS which I wrote. So I added two signals over here. One is dummy one, second one is dummy two. I simply gave a normal data type, whatever it is. The UUID, this is something which I have generated. So how I have generated that is, I used UUID gen for generating a UUID, and I have just copy pasted it by removing these symbols over there. So I have added these two UUIDs. Now I want to basically run the data broker such that it picks up this custom VSS.json, not the earlier VSS release.json, because by default it basically picks the latest release.json. And another problem which you will have is this particular data broker, how they have written is they have used the scratch image. So scratch image as such does not provide any shell capability. So it is not like you will run the Docker image and you will be able to exec into the Docker image. You will not be able to exec into the Docker image, as they made it as light as possible. So the only way you can do it, how I am already doing it is, let me hit a control C. Let me show you from start. Yeah. So I am actually in the VSS folder. So if at all you see, this is my this is a small example. So this is my subscriber, this is my provider, and I have a VSS folder. Inside the VSS folder there is this custom underscore VSS.json. Now this is the Docker image which so this is the Docker command which I'm using. So here I'm doing a volume mount of this particular folder, and I'm using this particular command which they have given somewhere in their uh, files documentation. I don't remember it exactly. So you go to this metadata, and after that you run this particular custom VSS JSON which you have written. I wrote dummy one, dummy two. You can have 10 dummies. It is up to you, or you can write whatever you want. So let me just run it. So you can see that the data broker is up and running. So what I do is I go to this terminal. So this is my provider and this is my subscriber. So here what I'm doing is it is exactly the same code what they have written, but they have written with respect to vehicle speed over here, which is over here. They have used vehicle dot speed because they were basically accessing the vehicle speed parameters over here. This is what they were using. Now instead of vehicle speed, I'm trying to use vehicle dot dummy one. That is what I'm trying to do now. Dummy two I just simply added. Yeah. So as it was earlier, vehicle dot speed, and yeah, they are they are printing value from 0 to 100. Now instead of vehicle speed, I have put as vehicle dot dummy one over here, and I'm just printing the statements over here. And even in the subscription, I wrote it as vehicle dot dummy one. So let me run the provider. So the provider is feeding value of dummy one as 0 to 19. That's what it will do. And I'm a subscriber over here, and I'm subscribing to the latest value. That is what it does. The Kuksa data broker does not keep the old values; it only has the latest values which are out there. So this keeps on running till it reaches 100, and this thing basically exits post that. Uh, so let me just hit a control 6. So this is it's working. These are the links which I have shared. This is the quick start tutorial. This is the latest release of data broker, and this is the command which I'm running. I will even attach the sample, what to say, the data value whichever I have written over there, the dummy one. You guys can use it, and you can just try it out on your own. Thank you for your time. Thanks a lot.